Good morning, Colorado. It is 8 a.m. on your Saturday, February 19th. I'm Kerjan Donovan. Good to have you with us this morning. We are taking you outside to a live look from I-25 and Academy this morning. It is going to be a beautiful day. Hey, we might as well enjoy it while we can because we got some cold days coming up in just a bit. Let's toss things over to Storm Target 13 meteorologist Marty to view with the latest. Marty, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kerjan, and good morning, everyone. Yeah, the Arctic stuff is coming back.
Horrific new details this morning about the murder of a Colorado Springs mother of 3. Her boyfriend is now in jail accused in her brutal killing. Her young daughter hearing it all happen. Kerjan News Channel 13 senior reporter Sydney Stell was at the El Paso County Jail last night. A warning, details of this alleged crime are hard to listen to. Police in Colorado Springs have a new death investigation on their hands. Details are still sparse on this one, but earlier last night, investigators were called to the area beneath Bijou Street where it crosses over the interstate. It's not clear this morning if this is suspicious in nature or perhaps someone who maybe died from a medical condition. But police confirmed the presence of a body, but are not releasing any other details at this hour. Police in Pueblo say a suspicious death we first told you about Thursday night is officially being investigated as a homicide. Officers responded to the call Thursday at around 2 in the afternoon near the corner of Court and West 26th Street. They found the body of a man inside and say it appears he was killed early Thursday morning. Police have released these surveillance photos saying these 2 cars are somehow involved. If you recognize these vehicles or have any other details on this crime, you are urged to reach out to police or to Pueblo Crime Stoppers. New details this morning on a Pueblo man who was wanted for attempted murder but was killed before police could take him into custody. This morning, his family believes the criminals he was involved with were the ones who wanted him dead. Kerjan News Channel 13 reporter Sean Rice brings us up to speed as police try to connect the dots between several recent crimes.
Classic cue to the shooting.
New this morning, a man is in jail after police found a Ford truck that was reported missing last night in Pueblo. Police say at around 11:30 last night, Officer Brown was on duty in the area of Troy and Oakshire. As he was working, he noticed the truck parked that was reported missing just hours earlier in the day. 29-year-old Derek Sandoval was taken into custody. Police say Sandoval was charged with aggravated robbery along with 2 other charges. And that truck is also part of that 82% increase in car thefts across the state since 2019. This is according to Colorado State Patrol. However, State Patrol says the most commonly stolen vehicles include Chevy Silverados, Honda Civics, and Accords, as well as Ford F-Series trucks. Officials say one big factor in the rise in thefts is complacency because many owners leave their cars unlocked or leave the keys inside. After a brief search that lasted just 2 weeks, the city of Manitou Springs has decided to make its interim police chief the permanent chief. Veteran investigator Bill Otto has served as Manitou's interim ever since the last chief resigned amid a sexual harassment scandal. City officials yesterday telling KRDO that Manitou's department is in better shape today than it has been in a while. The department currently has 14 fully sworn officers. Before Otto took over, that number was less than 10 for years. He has also implemented more than 50 policies and procedures aimed at supporting the longevity of the department. Former Manitou Chief Brian Churchill resigned from the position back in March of last year. 13 Investigates submitted a public records request with the city of Manitou Springs for his disciplinary file, but we were denied, citing a Colorado law that puts extra restrictions on sexual harassment complaints. A major construction project is underway. How business owners' feedback can help improve the flow of traffic on one super popular road. And COVID-19 patients who are dealing with the financial burden of hospital bills could be receiving some financial relief.
It's a sunny start to the day.
Good morning and welcome back. Turning to your COVID-19 coverage this morning, where numbers have stayed fairly steady as we approach the end of the week. To be sure, though, we are in much better shape than we were at the start of the month. Yesterday, the state recorded 265 new cases in El Paso County, while Pueblo logged 108 plus 1 new death. Both of those counties saw a significant drop in deaths over the last week. Teller County added 7 new cases and Fremont County added 56 of its own. In Manitou Springs, a walk-up COVID-19 vaccine clinic is now open at City Hall. The pediatric Pfizer vaccine, along with the adult Pfizer and Moderna shots, are available, so anyone over the age of 5 can get their shot now. To save time waiting in line, there's a link to sign up on comassvax.org.
John, back to you.
Prepping for the cold. Hey, Marty, thank you. Here's Rob Namnoom with your morning sports.
I'm Rob Namnoom. Have a good day.
Well, shoppers could be seeing new inventory on the shelves, how one ballot could change how liquor is being sold in stores. And a warning to parents, what product could be putting your toddler in harm's way. Taking you outside, this is a live look from your commute from I-25 in Woodman as we head to break. It's going to be a really nice day outside. So far, no accidents to report on I-25 northbound or southbound. We'll be right back. Good morning, Colorado, and happy Saturday. It is February 19th. I'm Kerjan Donovan. Good to have you with us this morning. Taking you outside, this is a live look from I-25 and Platte Avenue this morning. Clear skies, literally not a cloud in the sky as we kick off our weekend. Let's toss things over to Marty for a look on our weekend forecast. Marty, good morning. Thanks. One of the highest priority transportation projects in Colorado Springs is improving a half-mile stretch on the north end of 8th Street, and the city is asking for your help on that project. This is the second week of a 7-month study of 8th Street between Motor City Drive and Fountain Creek. That's where commuter and shopping traffic is heaviest and where many businesses line the street. City engineers want to hear ideas from business owners and the public about how to best improve the corridor.
Some of the XL decel lanes aren't really functioning very well with the bike lanes. We also have no pedestrian improvements on the west side. The east side's been pretty much redeveloped over time, but the west side still has some of the historical nature to it, to where there's no sidewalks, there's no curb and gutter, there's no drainage improvements.
Work on 8th Street will start sometime next year after all the public input is received and considered. The project will be financed with revenue from the Pikes Peak Rural Transportation Authority's 1 cent sales tax. We can now confirm 200 staff members from 9 high schools called out sick yesterday in protest in Academy District 20, the largest district in the city. D20 leaders had expected the sick out and shut down the high schools yesterday just in case. The protest is over a change in class schedules and a policy that would take away a planning period from high school teachers and replace it with a new course without a pay raise. The superintendent says the policy is meant to provide flexibility to teachers and benefit students. But a local teachers union says this move is meant to minimize the number of teachers the district has to hire and is bad for students. New research shedding light on just how much COVID-19 hospitalizations are costing Americans out of pocket. That number, about $4,000. That's due in part to insurance companies rolling back protections for those hospitalized with the virus. In the early stages of the pandemic, less than 9% of patients had out-of-pocket costs from COVID hospital visits. By March 2021, that number jumped to 84%. The FDA is warning parents who use powdered infant formula to check the labels just in case they're part of a voluntary recall. Products labeled Similac, Alimentum, and Elecare may be contaminated. It's possible that certain formulas made in a facility in Michigan could have bacteria in them. So far, 4 infants have ended up in the hospital in 3 states, and 1 of them died. Colorado is not among those states. For specifics on which formula codes are included in the recall, go to cardio.com. Well, if you're planning a summer vacation on American Airlines, you may want to stick to domestic flights. The airline is cutting its schedule again because Boeing is behind on its 787 Dreamliner deliveries. So far, the routes impacted include Seattle to London, Los Angeles to Sydney, and Dallas to Tel Aviv. Airlines have been hoping for a rebound as travel restrictions loosen across the world and around the world. But Boeing has been addressing a series of manufacturing flaws. Earlier this week, the FAA said its inspectors would check each Dreamliner before delivery instead of letting Boeing perform the inspections like it did in the past. Tensions are escalating as Russian President Vladimir Putin plans on going forward with the attack against Ukraine. It's all hands on deck as Ukraine gears up for a possible invasion. Innocent people and the country on high alert. Karina Mitchell has the details. All right, Marty, thank you. The rescue mission partnered up with Dutch Bros for one tasty fundraiser. It's a story that's absolutely Colorado. Yesterday, $1 from every coffee sold at Dutch Brothers locations across Colorado Springs is going straight to the rescue mission, where 80 to 90% of the funding for all programs comes solely from community donations. Dutch Brothers has been doing their fundraising program, Dutch Love Day, for 16 years. They say the rescue mission is an important cause for them.
They do a lot of.
Good morning and welcome back. Voters in Colorado could soon decide whether wine can be sold at grocery stores alongside beer. Full-strength beer became a staple at stores back in 2019, and now a coalition led by the state's largest grocery stores has submitted a pair of ballot initiatives that could put wine alongside beer on store shelves. The state has until late March to accept the ballot language, and then backers will need to get about 125,000 signatures before it can ultimately make its way onto the November ballot. Opponents say if passed, local liquor stores could lose much of their business. Well, an Israeli farmer has broken the world record for the world's heaviest strawberry. According to Guinness World Records, the fruit weighs more than 10 ounces. So similar to the strawberry seen here, but much bigger. The strawberry is 18 centimeters long, 4 centimeters thick. Guinness says multiple berries fused together to form the giant one. The previous record holder was a Japanese strawberry grown in 2015. That one was just shy of 9 ounces. We'll give a high five or a hug to a veteran today, specifically women vets. It is National Vet Girls Rise Day. The day honors the women who put their lives on the line to protect the U.S. About 2 million women have answered the call to serve and are now veterans. Military women have been around since the Revolutionary War, although they often weren't recognized for their service. But now, women who choose to be soldiers are praised for their abilities. So take time this Saturday to honor those women and thank them for their sacrifices. Scientists have confirmed what dog lovers already knew. Canines can actually recognize their owner's voice. Researchers at a university in Budapest studied 28 dogs while animals played hide-and-go-seek in the lab. And the scientists used more than a dozen different voices, including the pet's owner. They say the dogs were guided just by their owner's voice and found them in actually 82% of cases. The research team believes that dogs use the same voice properties as humans to differentiate voices such as pitch and noisiness. The team believes that the study can have real-world application for dogs with separation anxiety. We'll be right back.